students, welcome to SST So Simple tutorial. Today I am going to start revision of lesson 1, The Rise of Nationalism in Europe. This session will be useful to those who have read the book and understood the lesson properly. If you have not read the book or watched my lessons, I would suggest you watch those videos first. The links of those videos are given in the description. So let us begin with Unit 1, the French Revolution and the idea of the nation. Two questions are very important from this part. Let us take one by one. How did French revolutionaries create a sense of collective identity amongst the French people? Explain. Here we will write various measures and practices introduced by the French revolutionaries that created a sense of collective identity among the French people. 1. The idea of la patrie and la citoyenne was introduced. These emphasize the notion of a united community enjoying equal rights under a constitution. 2. A new French flag was chosen. It was a tricolour flag. It replaced the formal royal flag. 3. The States General was renamed the National Assembly. It was chosen by the body of active citizens. 4. New hymns were composed, oaths taken, and martyrs commemorated, all in the name of nation. 5. A centralized administrative system was put in place, and it formulated laws for all citizens within its territory. Regional dialects were discouraged, and French, as it was spoken and written in Paris, became the common language of the nation. Next question. State the provisions of the Civil Code of 1804. This is the second important question. The Civil Code of 1804 is usually known as Napoleonic Code. The main provisions of this code are as follows. It did away with all privileges based on birth. It established equality before law. It secured the right to property. It abolished the feudal system. It freed peasants from serfdom and manorial dues. Guild systems were removed. Transport and communication systems were improved. Let us now go to the second unit. The making of nationalism in Europe. What were the social, political and economic ideals supported by the liberals in Europe? The idea of liberalism was an important factor which promoted the sense of nationalism. First of all, write the term liberalism is derived from the Latin root word liber, which means free. Then, socially, for the new middle classes, liberalism stood for freedom for the individual and equality for all before the law. Politically, it emphasized the concept of government by consent. It stood for the end of autocracy and clerical privileges, a constitution, and a representative government through parliament. Economically, it stood for the freedom of markets and the abolition of state-imposed restrictions on movements of good and capital. Next is your Treaty of Vienna. Explain the features of Treaty of Vienna 1815. First, the Bourbon dynasty, which was deposed from power during the French Revolution, was restored to power. France lost the territories it had annexed under Napoleon. A series of states were set up on the boundaries of France to prevent French expansion in future. Prussia was given important new territory on its western frontiers, while Austria was given control of northern Italy. In the east, Russia was given part of Poland, while Prussia was given part of Saxony. The main idea behind this treaty was to restore the monarchies that had been overthrown by Napoleon and create a new conservative order in Europe. So, what were the features of new conservative regimes? Next question. Enumerate the features of conservative regimes set up in Europe following the defeat of Napoleon in 1815. First, they did not tolerate criticism at all. They sought to curb activities that questioned the legitimacy of the autocratic governments. Next, most of them imposed censorship laws to control what was said in media. And finally, they curbed all types of liberty and freedom. Who were revolutionaries? What were their political ideologies? Revolutionaries were the liberal nationalists who saw the creation of nation states as a necessary part of their struggle for freedom. They were against the monarchical governments that were established after the Vienna Congress. They believed in the unification of nations. They were in favor of liberty and freedom. Let us now see Unit 3. The Age of Revolutions. Why is the time period from 1830 to 1848 known as the Age of Revolutions? Explained. This is again an important question. Many revolutions occurred during the time period of 1830 to 1848. Start with what happened in France, followed by what happened in Brussels, and then the Greek War of Independence. The first upheaval took place in France in July 1830. The Bourbon kings, who had been restored to power after the Vienna Congress by the conservatives, were now overthrown by the liberal revolutionaries, who installed a constitutional monarchy with Louis Philippe as its head. The July Revolution sparked an uprising in Brussels, which led to Belgium breaking away from the United Kingdoms of Netherlands. Greece had been a part of Ottoman Empire since the 15th century. The growth of revolutionary nationalism in Europe sparked off a struggle for independence amongst the Greeks, which began in 1821. Next question. Give examples to show the contribution of culture to the growth of nationalism in Europe. Here, start with folk culture. Johann Gottfried Herder popularized the spirit of German nation through folk songs, folk poetry, and folk dances. Then, music. Karol Korpunski, a Polish artist, celebrated national struggle through his operas and music, turning folk dances like the Polonaise and Mazurka into nationalist symbols. Then, language. In the Russian-occupied parts of Poland, Polish language was banned. When the clergy refused to speak Russian and underwent punishment, they sent nationalist messages to the Polish people and stood by Polish language, which symbolized Polish culture. Let us now see the next unit. The making of Germany and Italy. You have to read all the three stories of Germany, Italy, as well as Britain. I will discuss only one. Mention few features of the unification movement of Italy. First, you must write the role of Mazzini. He was an Italian revolutionary. While in exile in 1831, he founded a new association called the Young Italy. He believed that Italy could not be a patchwork of small states and kingdoms. It had to be unified into a single democratic republic. Though Mazzini failed to achieve unification, but he inspired the youth to fight for it. Next is the role of Cavour. He was the chief minister of Piedmont in 1852 and a great administrator. Through a tactful diplomatic alliance with France, he succeeded in defeating the Austrian forces in 1859. Role of Garibaldi. Garibaldi was a great patriot of his time. He was influenced by the ideas of Mazzini. In 1860, he marched into South Italy and the kingdoms of the two Sicilies and succeeded in winning support of the local peasants in order to drive out Spanish rulers. Finally, in 1861, Victor Emmanuel II was proclaimed King of United Italy. Then comes the next unit, visualizing the nation. Who were Mariani and Germania? Mariani was the allegory of French nation. Her characteristics were drawn from those of liberty and the republic, the red cap, the tricolor, and the cockade. Statues of Mariani were erected in public places to remind the public of the national symbol of unity and to persuade them to identify with it. Germania was the allegory of German nation. In visual representation, she wears a crown of oak leaves, as the German oak stands for heroism. Finally, the last subunit, nationalism and imperialism. Why did nationalist tension emerge in the Balkans? Explain. Here, first of all, write about the Balkan area. The Balkan was a region of geographic and ethnic variations, comprising of modern-day Romania, Bulgaria, Albania, Greece, Macedonia, Croatia, Bosnia-Herzegovina, Slovenia, Serbia, and Montenegro. The inhabitants of these regions were broadly known as the Slavs. A large part of Balkans were under the control of Ottoman Empire. Now we will write the why part. The spread of the ideas of romantic nationalism in the Balkans, together with the disintegration of the Ottoman Empire, made this region very explosive. In the 19th century, with the decline of Ottoman Empire, the interest of major European powers increased. One by one, its European subject nationalities broke away from the control and declared its independence. As different Slavic nationalities struggled to define their identities and independence, the Balkan area became an area of intense conflict. Each power, Russia, Germany, England, Austro-Hungary, were keen on countering the hold of the other powers over the Balkans and extending their own control over the area. This led to a series of wars in the region and finally the First World War. Let me stop here now. You read the lesson properly and thoroughly. We will meet the revision of another lesson shortly. Till then, have a nice time. Thank you.
For more such videos, please don't forget to subscribe and press the bell icon. Thank you.